Hello and welcome to part 2 of the BBC Microbit Thermostat Controlled Fan series. So we're going to show you how to make the circuit now. I've cheated by placing the components here already, but you can see how easy that is. Hopefully you can see by pausing how easy it is. We have 3 buttons. This button is going to be button A on the microbit. This button is going to be button B on the microbit, and this button is going to represent if pin 2 is touched. We also have a 2.2 kilo ohm resistor here, which is going into a transistor, which is in turn going into the terminal, which is connecting the fan up to the circuit. Right, the best thing to do is get plugging bits in, I think. So we've got these male to female jumper leads, and it's a bit like a puzzle. So we connect up the left side of our button A, and we refer to this diagram on the back of the Kitronik tutorial manual, and you'll see that button A here, let me get a better pointy thing. So button A here is connected to pin 5. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So pin 5. So hopefully you can see here, that's pin 5 I've just plugged into pin 5. And then we're going to carry this on by plugging it the other side of it, the right hand side of the button, and complete the circuit to ground or 0 volts here. So that's a 0 volts or ground. So we can do that to button B, which is pin 11, as it says in this diagram here. So you can see pin 11, button B. And then we're going to do the same thing here by completing it by going to ground over here. And then we can also put this button in as well. So left hand side of the button, we said we're going to put this into pin 2. So that's what it says in the code. We are controlling is touched pin 2 on there, or pin 2 is touched on there. And then the right hand side, and we're going to plug this into ground like so. So the next part is we're going to connect this part of the circuit, the actual bit that does something, I suppose, or makes something physical happen. So we are going to use pin 0 as the control pin. So that's actually going to be what we're going to use to control if this is on or off, essentially. So pin 0 is over here, and we're going to connect that up to this, into the same column as this 2.2 kilo ohm resistor. And this is the bit that's tricky to see, actually, is that this resistor is plugged into, is in the same column. So the left hand side is obviously the pin 0, and the right hand side is connected to the same column as the middle leg of the transistor here. And we are next going to connect up the 3 volt, so 3 volts to, I think you can see that here. So this is actually going to be doing the powering of the fan. We're going to connect that up to the same column. If I can get it, it's getting a bit crowded in here. Let's push some stuff out of the way. This is going to the same column as the left hand side of the terminal. So there we go. So that is going into the left hand side of the terminal. That's in the same columns. That will now be connected to the circuit. And we obviously have to ground this. So this is actually going into the same column as the right hand side, or the right leg of the transistor, and we're going to ground it into our final grounding space in the pins up here. So again, because it's a bit crowded down here, you can see that pin 0, the control pin I guess, is connected to the left hand side of the resistor, and that in turn goes down into the middle leg of the transistor. The left leg of the transistor is connected up to the fan, and connected up to the right hand side of the terminal, which is connected to the fan, and the 3-volt the 3-volt supply is connected up to the left hand side of the terminal pin here, and that's connected to the fan, and we grounded on the right hand terminal. Sorry, the right hand transistor, even though I'm getting confused. Okay, the last thing to do is hopefully switch it on. And you will not quite see, if I move this down, you'll see that it is flashing away, which is great. And let's try and get this all in shot. So you hopefully can see there's some flashing, and if we select a temperature for it to activate on, hopefully you can see that the fan is spinning. Great. Let's just test the power. Yep, power appears to be working. Let's set it to so it switches off, and it does. Brilliant. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.